Tonight's national anthem, the Wizards are dressed in their road maroon and gold, and the Mustangs in their home white. Playing their second game at home in 3 days. The Mustang girls are on the road tonight taking on Windsor. And also Fort Morgan Mustang Wrestling going on right now against Erie. We've got Brush Bead Digger Wrestling on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com right now. They are entertaining the Ray Eagles. And let's send it downstairs for tonight's national anthem. All right, momentarily we'll send it downstairs as well for the playing of tonight's national anthem. With the Mustangs once again trying for their fourth victory of the season. Their last victory came on December the 18th when they outscored Weld Central and Keensburg 71-66. In fact, the Mustangs just won a home win. All their victories have been on the road. They defeated University, Sidney, Nebraska. Well, I guess they won't have any starting lineups to be announced tonight. Okay. So here we go. We'll do it for you. Preston Green for Windsor. It'll be Nick Norris jumping center against Matt Scoggin. Lance McGinnis. Trenton Garcia. And let's see if Hageman is out there. And the tip is controlled, and it's won over there by Fort Morgan. Here's Jacob Ortega. Over to Sadinana. Opening tip brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Hageman wearing 24. Sadinana. Jump pass near the top. He's not in the starting lineup, and the shot is missed from three by Ortega. Sadinana chases down the rebound for Fort Morgan. The Mustangs reset. The shot is up and in the lane by Nick Norris. Off the feet from Sadinana. The Mustangs lead 2-0. 30 seconds into the game. Walking the basketball into the front court is Lance McGinnis. And again, we'll set this entire lineup on the outside right to Scoggin. Scoggin at the top for Mitch Rasmussen. He was the fifth member that I didn't mention. Over to Green, right of the lane, in the lane, all the way. Shot blocked by Nick Norris along the baseline, and then he throws it off of Green out of bounds. Mustang basketball. It's Linker, Sadinana, Norris, Jacob Ortega, and Caden Edson for the Mustangs. So the Mustangs off to a good start, 2-0, 1 minute into the game. And here comes Sadinana into the front court. Sadinana dribbles on the outside right against McGinnis. Cross-court pass to Linker near that left corner. Here is Jacob Ortega, guarded closely by Garcia. And then the entry pass to Edson misses, and then Norris gets it and he banks it in. Nick Norris, 4 points and a rebound here in the early going. And the Mustangs now lead 4-0. 6:40 to go in the opening quarter. And Nick Norris was the leading scorer in that 19-point loss. In fact, he's been the leading scorer on more than one occasion this season. On the outside left with the basketball is Lance McGinnis, now near the top over to Trenton Garcia. In the corner, here is Preston Green, dribbles to his left, feeds it back out to Scoggin. Now over to McGinnis. Holding the basketball on the high right is Scoggin. Scoggin against Norris. Stripped by Ortega, and it's taken away by Linker. It's a 2-on-2. Linker right of the lane, spinning in the lane, putting it up off the glass too strong, and the ball is tipped around, and it's in the hands of Preston Green of Windsor. First turnover of the game went to Windsor. On the outside left, Mitch Rasmussen nearly had the ball stripped. Now left corner three, McGinnis is up, and that is no good. And the ball is volleyballed into the hands of Rasmussen. Windsor resets straight away. Three is in and out, and that is missed over there by Preston Green. And the rebound to Jacob Ortega, Fort Morgan. 5:45 to go in the opening quarter, and the Mustangs with a 4-0 lead. Ortega hands it off to Linker near the top. On the outside left to Edson. Edson guarded by Rasmussen. Edson got to get rid of that basketball. Dribbles towards the left baseline. Down low, wide open. Norris banks and scores. A beautiful feed from Caden Edson. And the Mustangs now lead 6-0. Nick Norris leads Windsor 6-0. Pressured in the backcourt is Garcia by Ortega. Now he'll back off with 5:19 to go in the opening quarter. We haven't really had a stoppage here. No fouls have been committed. Rasmussen in the lane, leans from 10, misses back rim. Isaac Linker grabs the long rebound for Fort Morgan. Mustangs want to run. Here is Linker at the top of the basketball. Back out to Ortega. Jump pass, left corner for Edson, left wing for Linker. Now feeds it back near the top of the three-point circle to Ortega. Dribbles to his right corner for Edson. Gets a pick from Norris. Feeds Norris. Ball tipped away. Norris in the right baseline is double teamed. There was contact, no whistle. And then his pass tipped, but Linker has it off the deflection. Linker dribbles out of that mess and hands it off to Edson with 4:43 to go. First quarter. Fort Morgan leads 6-0. Edson right of the lane, right corner. Ortega wide open three. That is well off to the left. But the rebound to Norris. And Norris goes back up and too strong. And then Jacob Ortega has it for Fort Morgan. Ortega to Edson, little 7-footer good. Edson straight away, and the Mustangs very aggressive on the boards. Now lead 8-0. That's the first point by a Mustang other than Norris as Caden Edson puts it in. Nearly midway through the opening quarter. Garcia on the outside left to McGinnis. Near the top here's Green on the outside right to Rasmussen. Bounce pass, McGinnis right baseline, turns, shoots, and misses from 10. And the ball is out of bounds. That's off of Windsor. And the Mustangs are off to a fabulous start in Windsor. At this point, cannot buy a bucket. But let's see if Fort Morgan can continue to capitalize on misses by Windsor as they've got an 8-0 lead with 3:58 to go in the first quarter. Sadinana crossover dribble, spins at the top. Sadinana right of the lane. Sadinana back out to Ortega. Ortega against Garcia, crossover dribble, right corner to Sadinana. To his left, hands it off to Linker. Linker right of the lane, jump pass to Norris. That's intercepted by Preston Green and make it Rasmussen. First turnover by Fort Morgan. Here's McGinnis on the high left. McGinnis behind the three-point line over to Rasmussen. Back on the high right to Green. Green guarded closely by Edson. Kicks it back out to Garcia. Outside left, Rasmussen, long three, well off to the left. And Jacob Ortega has the easy board for Fort Morgan. That's his third. Ortega across midcourt on the outside right. Pick from Norris. Hands it off to Linker. Spinning right baseline. Back out Ortega. Right wing three is blocked out of there by Rasmussen and taken away by Lance McGinnis. To Rasmussen. Leans, banks, and misses. Rasmussen goes back up. Check it. It's McGinnis, and he's fouled on the putback. He'll go to the line. The first foul committed by either team, and that one committed by David Sadinana. Lance McGinnis to the line. Here's the scary thing. When you haven't scored in almost 5 minutes, that once Windsor does score, you got to watch out because this happens in basketball all the time. You get a bucket, and then you get the momentum going. Free throw, McGinnis is off the back of the rim. They still haven't scored. Nick Norris has 6 of the 8 Fort Morgan points. Windsor is yet to score. Here comes Noah Rojo along with Adam Cardona for Fort Morgan. Second free throw coming up for Lance McGinnis. Going for the first points of the game for the Wizards. And this one is up, and that one is in. Fort Morgan 8, Windsor 1. With 3:03 to go. Why haven't they put that on the board? They finally did. Sadinana lost the handle of the basketball. It is picked up by Trent Shoemaker, and he's going to lay it up, and he's fouled as he misses off that feed from Ben Hageman, who's coming in off the bench as the leading scorer, and the foul is committed by Sadinana, his second. Mustangs with their second turnover. He might have to take a seat here, and that's what I was talking about. You give this team a little bit of momentum, and that's not going to help the Mustangs at this point, but they're still up 8-1, and the free throw is off the left side of the rim. Second free throw upcoming for Trent Shoemaker. Well, Berthoud certainly had no problem. They had a little trouble from the free throw line, but not from three-point range. Second free throw, swish, and Windsor scored the last 2 points. It's 8-2. Backcourt bounce pass to Rojo. He's trapped along the baseline, and then he was fouled. And fouled by Trenton Garcia. First foul committed by Windsor. Here comes Simon Graff for Fort Morgan, supplanting Isaac Linker. And to throw it in will be Ortega in the backcourt. You cannot run that baseline. It's not after a made basket. Gets it into Rojo. Back to Ortega. Ortega still in the backcourt against Lance McInnes. 2:49 to go first quarter. Behind his back across the timeline. Ortega with the basketball. Hands it off to Graff. Graff near the top. Looking. Swings it right side. Over to Fernando Marquez, the freshman, into the game for the first time. Now to Rojo. Rojo towards the top, picks up the dribble, bounce pass down low. Ortega feeds it to Graff, underneath, dribbles, banks, and scores. That's a nice job there. Ortega to Graff, and the Mustangs now lead 10-2. All the baskets down low for Fort Morgan. Garcia had the ball poked away out of bounds. Nope, he lost it completely. They said there was no Fort Morgan deflection, and that's turnover number 2 for Windsor, equaling Fort Morgan's total. Lots of substitutions already made for Windsor. Kobe Green into the game, along with Brennan Seabolt. And Ben Hageman was in there momentarily, the leading scorer, but he was taken out. He played less than a minute. Simon Graff in the backcourt, 10-2 Fort Morgan with 2:19 to go in the first. Back out towards Rojo, still in the backcourt, crosses midcourt, and then hands it off over to Jacob Ortega. Ortega against McInnes. Dribbles to his right all the way. Jump passes, knocked out of bounds. That was a forced pass, and he got lucky that it wasn't intercepted by Kobe Green. Fort Morgan retains possession. Edson comes into the game for Ortega. Ortega. Now it's Edson, I should say. Edson looking, still looking. Right corner for Graff. He'll take the long one. That is off the top of the backboard. Edson, though, chases it down. That's how badly he missed it. It allowed Fort Morgan to get it. Edson jump pass to Marquez. Marquez behind his back, left of the lane, leaning, banking, and missing. Oh, just off the lip of the rim. And pulling down the rebound is McInnes of Windsor. He comes the other way. Right side into the lane. Jump pass down low. Shoemaker banks, and he misses. And then Marquez grabs the rebound for Fort Morgan. Marquez the other way. That was a nice pass there by Seabolt, but it did not pay off for the Wizards. With 1:38 to go first quarter. Marquez gets a pick from Cardona. Marquez right of the lane. He's going to have to back it out. Looking for Graff, and he feeds him. Graff on the right baseline. Kicks it back out to Marquez. Marquez against Seabolt. Dribbles to his left towards midcourt. With 1:22 to go. Right of the lane. Jump pass down low. Cardona. That would have been a layup, but there's a foul. A defensive foul on Brennan Seabolt. The second foul committed by Windsor. Matching Fort Morgan's total. To throw it in, Edson in the front court to the left of the basket. Hageman is back in. Edson. He's going to have to lob it. No, down low to Cardona. He got the ball stripped by Hageman. That was ill-advised to put that ball on the floor. And then Hageman threw it away. Intercepted by Edson. Edson for Fort Morgan. Crossover dribble in the right corner. Rojo's shot is going to be way off from 3. And the ball is rebounded over there by Hunter Peck of Windsor. On the right side, here is Seabolt banking and scoring. Nice job by Seabolt. Little 7-foot runner, and it's 10-4, Fort Morgan. 53 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Rojo in the front court to Marquez. Looking over for play instructions from head coach Andy Schoen. On the outside right in the lane, Marquez. Got to get out of that lane, back out to Rojo. Dribbles right baseline, and then throws up a wild shot. I think he thought he was fouled. No whistle, and it's taken away there by Kobe Green. The long pass is out of bounds, though. He threw it away. Fourth turnover for Windsor. Fort Morgan has the basketball in a very lackluster first quarter offensively, and that's putting it nicely for Windsor with only 4 points and 4 turnovers. With 35 seconds to go, the inbounds pass is taken by Caden Edson. Edson behind his back against Hageman. Edson hands it off to Graff, lost the basketball, got it back near midcourt, jump pass to Edson. Edson against Hageman, dribbles to his right. Edson right of the lane. Kicks it back out. Here is Marquez at the free throw line, down to 17 seconds to go. Marquez against Hageman. Chest pass, left side to Graff. Graff on the left baseline. Now here's Rojo. Little 12-foot pull-up. Good. That's a nice job. Rojo clearing space for himself is able to score. Fort Morgan 12, Windsor 4. 3 seconds to go. Seabolt straight away. Long 3 is off the lip of the rim. And that's the end of the opening quarter. It's a good one for Fort Morgan. With the score, Fort Morgan 12, Windsor 4. It's a 1-minute break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. I'm John Beltran back from Fort Morgan High School. Fort Morgan 12, Windsor 4. Let's head to quarter number 2. Trenton Garcia with a basketball for Windsor. Feeds it on the outside left to McInnes. We'll set the Mustang lineup here as Isaac Linker's back in there with Nick Norris. And here is Garcia left of the lane against Andres Dubre, a sophomore. Also in there for Fort Morgan for the first time, senior Devin Mussman. Garcia towards the top with the basketball. Instructing his players, and at the top now, over there for Scoggin, Down low, Garcia, left corner, taken over there by McGinnis. Now on the right side, here's Rasmussen, right baseline, jump pass to Green. And now they'll reset here with McGinnis. They've taken up almost 40 seconds, not even a shot. Scoggin in the left corner, bounce pass left of the lane for Green. Ball knocked away by Linker, and it's wrestled away by Nick Norris. Turnover number 5 for Windsor. Fort Morgan has not played well defensively in the first 3 Tri-Valley League games, but tonight they're on their game. Here's Ortega getting a pick from Norris, dribbling right of the lane. Right corner for Linker. Linker dribbles to his left, jump pass towards Devin Mussman. Mussman at the top. Now Dubray. Left wing 3 is off the back of the rim. Linker tries to chase it down, but it's out of bounds. And that's a good look by Chief. He's a very good three-point shooter. And if he's going to miss it and he's that wide open, can't fault him for that shot. So Windsor comes the other way. So we played 1:07 of the second quarter. We had one shot attempt. That was by Fort Morgan. Garcia the other way. Garcia bounce pass right baseline down low for Rasmussen. Kicks it back out to McGinnis at the free throw line. Now here's Garcia. His runner off the glass is no good. And Dubray grabs the rebound for Fort Morgan. On the outlet to Ortega. Neither team has scored to begin the second quarter. Linker on the left baseline. Dribbles back out of it to Dubray. Dubray. Jump pass down low for Norris. He's trapped, but then he banks and he misses. And then Norris goes for the rebound, has it. And then he goes back up and he's hacked to the act. Nick Norris to the line for 2. And the foul was on Preston Green. Norris already with 6 points and 3 rebounds. And the Mustangs attempt their first 2 free throws of the game. The first basket by Norris was brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions, working with the community to make sure there are jobs for the members of the communities they're in. Cargill Meat Solutions, the free throw is in. Fort Morgan leads Windsor 13-4. He spins, he shoots, and he connects. Mustangs up by 10. That's their biggest lead with 6:18 to go, second quarter. Here is Garcia. On the outside left, Garcia towards the top against Dubray. Back on the high right to Rasmussen. Gets a pick from McGinnis. Dribbles out of it, back out in the right corner to Green. Now here's McGinnis to Green. Penetrates right baseline, and Green then is fouled along the baseline. And that foul was on Mussman. That'll be his first. Garcia to lob it in. Back out on the high right to McGinnis. McGinnis, right corner for Garcia. Dubray backs off. He won't take the 3. Dribbles into the lane. Jump pass down low for Scoggin. Banks and misses. Too strong from about 5 feet away. Ortega grabs another rebound for Fort Morgan. That's his 4th. Ortega with the basketball. Back out to Linker. Linker dribbles. Back out to his right. He's going to feed Mussman. Mussman with the basketball. In the lane is Linker now, and he puts up a wild shot and makes it. Turned into a layup, but it looked like he was off balance. Then Linker scores, and the Mustangs now lead 16-4. 5:23 to go, second quarter. Fort Morgan with a 12-point lead against a Windsor team that just won by 20. Here's Scoggin dribbling left baseline all the way. Banks, and he misses, too short. Andres Dubray grabs the rebound for Fort Morgan. Mustangs want to run. Here comes Ortega. It's a 5-on-4. Ortega right of the lane with the basketball. Gets a pick. He's going to have to back it out to Dubray. Dubray towards the top, hands it off to Linker. Linker picks up his dribble, and he hands it off to Ortega. Ortega under 5 minutes to go in the second. Fort Morgan 16, Windsor 4. Lob down low for Norris, and he's fouled. Boy, once he grabs that basketball, he's strong. The foul was committed by Mitch Rasmussen, his first. Not a lot of fouls here in the opening half. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient. Make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. Mussman to throw it in. Inside towards Norris. Totally forced over there. That went off of Mussman out of bounds. Turnover Fort Morgan is their first of the quarter, 4th of the game. And the other way, here comes Brennan Seabolt for Windsor. Seabolt on the high right with the basketball. Bounce pass to Hageman. He banks, misses, fouled by Norris. To the line is Ben Hageman. So Hageman will attempt the 5th and 6th free throws, and he is the leading scorer. Only one field goal so far recorded by Windsor. That was by Brennan Seabolt in the opening quarter. We have 4:43 to go in the second, and the free throw is good by Ben Hageman. Second free throw upcoming by the sophomore. He bends, he shoots, and connects. The Mustang lead is down to 10, 16-6. Windsor applies pressure. Inbounds pass to Dubray. Now back out to Ortega. Stolen away by McInnes. And then a shot missed by Hageman. However, the rebound is controlled there by Rasmussen. Three is missed over there by Brennan Seabolt. And a foul, I believe, down low on Hageman. It is. So they couldn't take advantage of the Mustang turnover. It's only the 15th foul. The Mustangs have 4. 4.5 to go in the second. Linker inbounds pass to Norris. Norris back out to Linker. Linker with a right-handed dribble. Linker still in the backcourt. He's trapped over there. And we had a timeout, very smart timeout called by Andy Schoen. There was no flow there towards breaking the press. So we'll keep it right here with the Mustangs up 16-6 over Windsor. 4:24 to go in the opening half. Very quick moving first half because of the limited number of fouls committed. This would be nice. Both Fort Morgan C and JV teams lost tonight, so you can at least pick up a victory here. It would snap a 3-game losing streak. It would be their first home victory of 2018-2019. They haven't played too many games here anyway. Let's reset the lineup for Windsor. Ben Hageman, Matt Scoggin, Preston Green, Brennan Seabolt, and Lance McInnes. Fort Morgan Mustangs with Nick Norris, Caden Edson now, Jacob Ortega, Fernando Marquez, and Isaac Linker. Here is Edson for Fort Morgan. Edson near midcourt. Edson looking, got to get rid of it, and then he forced a pass, and it's tipped away, and it's intercepted by Rasmussen. Mustangs are getting careless. That's 3 turnovers in the quarter, and then the ball is tipped out of bounds on the entry pass by the Mustangs. Windsor to throw it in underneath the Fort Morgan basket. Seabold, left baseline, McInnes banks and scores. Mustangs fell asleep as he was running the left baseline. Second field goal of the game by Windsor. They trail by 8, 16-8. Under 4 minutes to go in the second. Edson to Ortega across the timeline. Jump pass to Linker. Cross-court pass to Edson. In the right corner, here's the 3, and that is no good. Missed by Marquez, and they'll have a whistle. And there's a foul on Windsor down low. And a foul. Let's see who committed that foul. I don't think it was Hageman. Was it Hageman again? Yeah, Preston Green is checking back in. It is Hageman. Boy, you get the leading scorer out. That helps Fort Morgan. Marquez to trigger it in. Lobs it towards Linker at the top. Linker dribbles in the lane, back out, and the ball is intercepted as he threw it off the right hand of Marquez. Here is McInnes, and he banks and misses. And Nick Norris grabs the rebound. Mustangs catching a break because they're getting very careless with the basketball here in the second quarter. They've only scored 4 points in the quarter, down to 3:28 to go in the quarter. Ortega on the high left. Back out to Marquez. Fernando Marquez with the basketball, dribbles to his right. Crosses over now in the left corner. Here's Ortega. He'll take the shot, and that is good. And that was Ortega with a long one. I believe that was a 2-pointer for Ortega. And the Mustangs extend the lead. And then Nick Norris comes away with a rejection. It was a 3 by Ortega. Now they put it up on the board, even though I didn't see the signal. And Marquez banks and scores to the basket. Coast to coast for Marquez. Timeout Windsor. 30-second timeout. The Mustangs now on a 5-0 run. As Ortega nailed the 3, then Marquez scores, and Fort Morgan leads 21-8. And just like that, the Mustangs have reclaimed the momentum after Windsor had scored 4 straight. Didn't see this coming because of Fort Morgan's recent struggles, holding an opponent to only 8 points here, but the atmosphere in this gym has picked up quite a bit. With 2:55 to go second quarter. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the very best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. Buildings by Design. Nick Norris has got 8 points and 4 rebounds here in the opening half. He's leading all scorers. Jacob Ortega just scored for the first time, but that was a big 3 when Windsor was starting to build some momentum. And now it will be Windsor basketball. Here comes Trenton Garcia across the timeline, led by Ortega. On the high right, here's Preston Green. Jump pass at the top over there for Hunter Peck into the game. Down low, and then fouled is Preston Green by Caden Edson on the entry pass from Mitch Rasmussen. And to the line will be Preston Green. Nice back cut over there for Green. Edson commits his first. And here come 2 free throws. This one is up and in by Green. Finishing off this half is going to be extremely important for Fort Morgan. 21-9. Second free throw upcoming for Preston Green. He bends, he shoots, and connects. Fort Morgan 21, Windsor 10. We're down to 2:39 to go. Second quarter. Ortega across the timeline, picks up the dribble. Jump pass towards Edson. Edson with a left-handed dribble. He picks up his dribble. Cross-court pass. Right corner, Rojo. Back out to Ortega. In the right corner to Rojo. He's got a dribble out of traffic. Now he is trapped over there. Bounce pass down low to Norris. In the lane to Edson. All the way. Lays it up and in! Boy, that was a great feed from Norris to Edson. Edson now with 4. Mustangs reclaim the lead by a baker's dozen. 23-10. Outside left Garcia straight away. Green 3. Yes! Preston Green hits the triple. The first for Windsor. And the Mustang lead is down to 10. 23-13. We've got 1:57 to go in the second quarter. Edson, left corner for Rojo. Dribbles left baseline, contact. That'll be the 17th foul. The foul committed by Trenton Garcia. And that'll send Rojo to the line for the 1-and-1. Out of the game is Garcia. Brennan Seabolt is in. Windsor from the line tonight is 4 out of 6. The Mustangs are 2 out of 2, both made by Norris. Free throw by Rojo is in. Second free throw upcoming. The lead is 11 at 24-13. The senior Rojo bends, spins, shoots, and scores. Mustangs 25 and the Wizards 13. In the backcourt, Seabolt with Ortega backing off will bring it into the front court. Seabolt dribbles to his right, gets a pick from Green, back out to Green. Long 3 is off the back of the rim. Ball is tipped around into the hands of Caden Edson, but then it got stripped away and there's a foul. I think Edson was the one who committed the foul. Yep. And that'll be the 16th foul against Fort Morgan. Second foul on Edson. And Edson is out. Mussman is in with 1:40 to go. Hageman back in. I'm surprised Hageman hasn't played more considering the number of points he scored this year. But then again, he did commit his second foul moments ago, so that gets you into foul trouble when you have 2 fouls with about 4 minutes to go in the quarter, which is down to about 1.5 minutes now. Seabolt over to Hageman. Hageman reverse layup misses and he's fouled. Ben Hageman to the line. Let's see, there were 2 Mustangs there. And that foul was committed by Nick Norris. That's his second. Hageman made 2 free throws moments ago, and he drills that one. Mustang lead is down to 11. Adam Cardona checks in for Nick Norris. He'll sit the remainder of the half with only 89 seconds remaining. And let's see who checks in here. That'll be Lance McGinnis for Trent Shoemaker. Hageman with a second free throw for Windsor. Fort Morgan's biggest lead has been 13, and the free throws in and out. Linker grabs the Fort Morgan rebound. That's his second. Linker on the outlet to Noah Rojo. Rojo into the front court. Dribbles right of the lane against Lance McGinnis. Feeds it to Ortega. Ortega crossover dribble right of the lane. Ortega no-look pass goes through everybody, but Mussman chases it down. Then he traveled. 6 turnovers for Fort Morgan in the quarter, 9 in the game, but Fort Morgan still has an 11-point lead with 1:12 to go. Brennan Seabolt for Windsor against Mussman. Dribbles into the lane all the way, scoops it up, and he missed it too strong. And then Hageman wrestles the ball away and has the rebound. Here's Hageman to McGinnis, and then the ball tipped out of bounds by Cardona, intended for Hunter Peck. 3/4 court to throw it in his Peck for Windsor, down under 1 minute to go. Only a 25-14 lead in the backcourt. Here's Seabolt. On the outside left to McGinnis. McGinnis near the top, back out to Green on the outside right to Hageman. Straight away here, Seabolt fakes the 3, bounce pass inside to Green, and he banks and scores to the right of the basket. Green now has 7 all in the quarter. The lead is down to 9, 25-16. Fort Morgan is in the lead with 36 seconds remaining. Rojo looking, bounce pass, right baseline to Ortega, jump pass inside to Cardona, and then it went off his hands to Ortega, but Ortega was on the baseline. Turnover Fort Morgan, their 7th of the quarter, 10th of the game. Windsor basketball with Hageman triggered in. And now Matt Scoggin checks in for Hunter Peck. Well, Windsor could make this a 6-point game with a 3 and get right back into it. They were down by a baker's dozen. We are at 27 seconds remaining here in the opening half. And Brennan Seabolt will dribble it across the timeline. He's in no hurry to get off a shot. Looking up at the clock now with 16 seconds to go. Seabolt motioning the offense. Down to 12, just beyond midcourt of Seabolt, between his legs with 9. Now starts a drive, bounce pass, over to Scoggin at the free throw line. Now to Seabolt, left baseline, cross court, right corner. McInnes, wide open 3 is an air ball, and then the ball is tipped up and missed by Scoggin. Tipped up and into the buzzer by Hageman. That will count. That will count at the buzzer by Ben Hageman. The Mustangs were out-rebounded there in the final stanza, and Windsor has made it a game here at the break. We have played 16 minutes of basketball with the score. Fort Morgan 25, Windsor 18. Let's take a 3-minute break right here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. All right, momentarily we'll head to the third quarter. I'm John Beltran in Fort Morgan. Our sound engineer and producer tonight is Emily Hernandez, a veteran of the sound engineer and producing skills. And I'm an older veteran, that's pretty obvious. But anyway, it's obvious because I've been bald for 20-some-odd years. All right, Mustangs will take the floor here momentarily with a 25-18 lead. Again, with 7 players in the scoring column. That's a big key considering that it makes it that much more difficult for the opposing defense to contain the offense when they don't know who the go-to guy is. It was Nick Norris early on, but then they started spreading it around a little bit more. Ben Hageman does begin the second half for Windsor, along with Preston Green, Mitch Rasmussen, Brennan Seabolt, and Matt Scoggin. So different starting 5 in the second half for Windsor. Fort Morgan more than likely will stick with their starting 5 as we had at the beginning of the game. That would be Isaac Linker, Nick Norris, Caden Edson, David Sadinana, and Jacob Ortega. But Fort Morgan's got to be careful here. Edson, Sadinana, and Norris all have 2 fouls. Hageman does have 2 for Windsor. Linker to throw it in to begin the second half. Over to Sadinana. Sadinana did not play much in the first half with that foul trouble against Hageman. Feeds it left side to Ortega. Ortega backs up left wing 3, is off to the left and deep, and the long rebound is controlled by Mitch Rasmussen of Windsor. Windsor looking to draw to within 5. Green back out to Seabolt. Seabolt free throw line to Scoggin. Scoggin hands it off to Seabolt. Dribbles left baseline, leans, banks, and he misses. And the rebound controlled by Isaac Linker, but then lost his balance. Luckily, got rid of it over to Caden Edson. And the other way here is Ortega. Now in the left corner, Edson with the basketball. Edson back out to Sadinana. Sadinana at the top of the three-point circle to Linker. Linker just beyond the timeline, left-handed dribble. Back out to Edson on the high right. Edson against Green, left-handed dribble, left to the lane. He's going to kick it left corner for Linker, but his foot was on the baseline. Turnover number 11 for Fort Morgan. And Scoggin comes the other way with Brennan Seabolt. 1 minute into the third quarter with Fort Morgan leading by 7, but they led by as many as 13. High right for Hageman, lob down low for Green. Dribbles, turns, had it blocked there by Linker, but somebody committed a foul, but it was called on Edson. Edson with his 3rd. And 2 free throws coming up here for Preston Green. The line drive is short. Get a delicious treat, breakfast or lunch option to make the day better. Willow Coffee and Bake Shop, 921 Edison Street in Brush. Second free throw in the air and inside the basket for Preston Green. Fort Morgan's lead was 13. Now it's down to 6. 25-19, 6:48 to go in the third. Sarinana bounce pass to Edson at the free throw line. Swings it right side to Sarinana, right corner for Ortega. Dribbles right baseline, all the way, jump pass, left wing. Edson, three is way short. And the one-hop rebound into the hands of Ben Hageman. Hageman over to Shoemaker, back to Hageman, fakes a three, and then slipped. He's on the floor with the basketball, and then the ball's wrestled away by Ortega. Ortega in the backcourt, back out to Sarinana. Turnover number 7 for Windsor. Sarinana crosses midcourt, picks up the dribble, looks for Ortega, and then the ball was off his hand in the backcourt. That's an over and back against Fort Morgan. Backcourt violation is turnover number 12. Edson is out, and into the game is Fernando Marquez. Mustangs losing some of that offensive mojo they had in the opening quarter, really in the second as well. Seabolt, outside left. Now back to Hageman on the outside right to Seabolt. At the free throw line for Scoggin, hands it off to Seabolt, not moving the ball around quickly. Seabolt in the lane, he's fouled on the floor. That might be Ortega with a hold. Yep. First foul on the junior, Jacob Ortega. And to throw it in is Seabolt. Bounce pass on the high right to Rasmussen. Straight away Green fakes the three, steps in, back out Rasmussen. Right wing three is short, and the ball is tipped around and still loose, and it's picked up by Marquez of Fort Morgan. Over to Linker, bounce pass to Marquez. Marquez across the timeline on the outside left, feeds Ortega. Had Norris wide open, didn't feed him. Now has to kick it back out to Marquez. Marquez guarded over there by Scoggin in the lane, down low for Norris, and we have a traveling violation against Fort Morgan. I don't know if that was on Norris or not. I don't know. I think he had total control of the basketball. I think it was on Marquez before the ball was given to Norris. 13 turnover for Fort Morgan. Mustangs have yet to score in the third. They lead by 6, 25-19. On the outside right, Scoggin with the basketball. Bounce pass down low, Green. Double team, back out to Scoggin. Into the lane, double team, forces up a shot. Hits nothing but glass, and Linker grabs the board. Great defense by the Mustangs. On the outlet to Marquez. Marquez on the outside left against Ben Hageman. There's a crossover dribble. Back to his left, hands it off to Linker. Linker against Hageman to his right. Linker, bounce pass, right base onto Ortega, jump pass to Norris. That was totally forced, and it's intercepted by Windsor. The other way, Hageman, hop step, and did he travel? He did, before the foul was committed by Fort Morgan. Turnover number 8 against Windsor. Mustang basketball. This is an ugly third quarter. In fact, neither team has scored. Well, Windsor has a free throw. Check that from Preston Green. It was 25-18 at the break. It's 25-19. With 4:53 to go in the third. And Sarinana dribbles across the timeline. Mustangs call a timeout. 30-second timeout by Fort Morgan. Yeah, if one team gets hot, watch out. Either Fort Morgan can open this thing up, or Windsor can take the lead. Fort Morgan has been in control most of the way, but they have not scored in a long time. They had a three-pointer by Ortega and then a layup by Marquez. That was 5 points in a very short period. That opened up the double-digit lead, but since then, they've been silent. They've had to do it with the defense. And Windsor, unlike Berthoud, unlike Erie, and unlike Holy Family, has been unable to hit outside shots. Linker at midcourt to trigger it in. In the back court to Sarinana. Here's Sarinana against Shoemaker. Picks up the dribble, double team, bounce pass to Linker. Linker towards the top against Hageman. Had the ball stripped. He gets it back at the free throw line. Bounce pass left corner in the lane of Marquez, and then he scoops it up back rim. No good. And the ball is into the hands of Hageman. Hageman with Sarinana to beat all the way, lays it up and blocked out of bounds from behind by Nick Norris. Norris with a tremendous defensive play, caught up to Hageman and swatted the counterfeit out of the bank. Windsor, though, retains possession. Green to throw it in. No field goals yet by either team in the quarter. Green lobs it back out towards Scoggin against Norris. Scoggin at the top, picks up the dribble. Out to Seabolt, left corner to Preston Green, to Scoggin. Straight away three-pointer is way short, and the rebound on one bounce to Nick Norris, who is at the top of the three-point circle. That's how much of a ricochet that basketball had. Here's Ortega against Siebold. Right baseline to Marquez. Back out, bounce pass to Ortega. Ortega down low to Norris. Spinning in the lane, turning, shooting, scoring off the glass. To the line with a foul. Nick Norris now has 10 points in the game. And the Mustangs lead by 8. Foul was committed by Mitch Rasmussen. And Norris to shoot 1. Boy, Nick is strong down low. They can open it up even more throughout the season. They're going to say Preston Green committed the foul instead. Free throw is in for Nick Norris, and the junior now with 11. And he's 3 out of 3 from the line. Fort Morgan with a 9-point lead. That's big in a low-scoring game. Lance McInnes back in for Windsor. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. McInnes motioning his teammates up the court. McInnes dribbles by Sadinana. Jump pass left wing. Green wide open 3 is off the back of the rim. And the ball is tipped into the hands of Noah Rojo just into the game. Rojo picks up the dribble just across the timeline. Had the ball stripped away by Mitch Rasmussen. Fort Morgan with their 15th turnover. And then Fort Morgan tips the ball out of bounds in the front court. Windsor retains possession. 3/4 court. They are down by 9 and have scored just 1 point in the quarter. Inbounds pass in the right corner taken by Peck. Back out to Rasmussen, and here is Preston Green. On the high left, McInnes, and then he threw it behind his teammate, but it's retrieved by Rasmussen on the high right against Linker. In the right corner, Hunter Peck against Cardona. In the right corner to Siebold. Down low for Peck, and we got a whistle and a foul. That might be on Cardona with the body. Cardona commits his first. Mustangs have 3 team fouls. Windsor with only 1. Linker is out. Graff is in with 3:21 to go in the third. And Fort Morgan with a 9-point lead. Here is Shoemaker. 8-foot pull-up around and no good off the inbounds pass, and he's fouled. Simon Graff committed the foul, I should say. And to the stripe is Mitch Rasmussen. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Western Engineering Consultants. Strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. Rasmussen to attempt 2 free throws, and the first one is up, and the first one is around and no good. Windsor is 8 out of 13 for the line. Just over 60% into the game is Kobe Green for the second time. Second free throw here from Mitch Rasmussen is up, and that one is off the back of the rim. And we got a whistle and a foul on Windsor. Fort Morgan basketball. Marquez to throw it in. The foul committed by Hunter Peck. Mustangs can take a double-digit lead. Sadinana looking. Lobs it left side towards Rojo. Bad pass. Intercepted by Siebold. Here's McInnes. Lays it up and in. Yeah, you can't. They're making too many mistakes. 16 turnovers. When Fort Morgan lost to Holy Family by 38, Fort Morgan only had 10 turnovers. But they played a much better basketball team. They're only up by 7 in this game with 2:48 to go in the third. And Holy Family is ranked. And then Sadinana throws it away, intended for Cardona. I'm not sure what the Mustangs are doing here. Here's Green in the right corner for Peck. Back out, Siebold, straight away 3, and that's short. And the ball is tipped into the hands of McInnes, though. And now here's a right wing 3. Green, good. Kobe Green makes a 3, and Windsor to within 4. All of a sudden, they're on a 5-0 run. 28-24, 2:22 to go in the third. Timeout called by Fort Morgan. We'll take it with them. 2 minutes, 21 seconds to go, third quarter. Fort Morgan 28, Windsor 24. We're back in 60 on B106 and B106.com. Caden Edson has the basketball for Fort Morgan to Fernando Marquez, the freshman. 28-24 Fort Morgan, 2:08 to go in the third. Edson, right corner for Ortega. Dribbles right baseline, cut off, now double teamed. And then he throws it away into the hands of a Wizard. Long pass to McInnes with Marquez to beat all the way, lays it up, and he missed it. And then the ball is tipped into the hands of Jacob Ortega. The Mustangs quickly the other way. In the right corner, Marquez, 1:49 to go. Still a 4-point Fort Morgan lead. The Mustangs with only 3 points in the quarter. Linker dribbles to his right. Back out to Ortega. Right wing three is way off to the left. And the ball cannot be saved in by Linker out of bounds. That was a bad miss by Jacob. And Windsor with a basketball with 1:37 to go in the third. And they have scored the last 5 points of the game. Backcourt bounce pass to McInnes. McInnes against Edson. Into the front court to Hunter Peck. Hands it off to Seabolt. Seabolt at the free throw line. Jump pass, left corner, McInnes. Back out, Green, three in the air is short. And we got a whistle and a foul. Let's see. That foul, I believe, was on Windsor. Yeah, Hunter Peck commits his second foul. Fort Morgan basketball with 1:20 to go. Boy, they desperately need a bucket. They are stone cold. They've only got a 3-point play the old-fashioned way by Nick Norris. That is it in this entire quarter. We're down to 1:10 to go. Linker on the outside left, dribbles, cut off, bounce pass back out to Marquez. Marquez had Ortega wide open, didn't see him. Here's Edson, right corner, Ortega, dribbles to his left, under a minute to go. Ortega looking, swings it at the top for Marquez. Marquez against McInnes, now to Ortega. Ortega, now to Marquez, left wing, wide open three. Yes! Fernando Marquez, the freshman, drills a humongous shot. And the Mustangs now lead by 7, 31-24. 39 seconds to go in the third. Seabolt for Windsor crosses the timeline. Seabolt into the lane all the way. Jump pass down low. Banking, missing, fouled is Trent Shoemaker. He'll go to the line. And the foul was committed by Nick Norris's third. Shoemaker to shoot two, but that was a huge three by the freshman Marquez. Crystal clear ice, good for any drink at any time of year. AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. Free throw is up, and he back rimmed it. Man, Windsor has not had their shooting touch the entire game. Second free throw, Hageman is back in. He can make this a 6-point game if he makes it, and that is around and good for Shoemaker. 29 seconds to go, third quarter. Ortega for Fort Morgan against Seabolt. Dribbles to his right. In the right corner to Marquez, and then Marquez had the ball wrestled from behind, and Marquez committed the foul. Yeah, that's a frustration foul big time. Marquez should have just left it alone. And Fort Morgan has not played well in this quarter. 9 turnovers and only 6 points, but yet they still have a 6-point lead. And that's the way you stay in games and maybe win games, is with defense. Windsor trying to inch closer with 16 seconds to go. Here is Brennan Seabolt at midcourt. Looking up at the clock now with 11. Seabolt with 9. Gets a pick to his right. Jump pass down low for Green. Green is trapped with 5 seconds to go. Then the ball is loose. Picked up by Edson. And then we got a whistle and a foul in the backcourt, but it's only the 14th foul, so it's not going to matter despite Windsor committing the turnover. And that foul was on Scoggin. Or was it Hageman? One of the two. Hageman with his third. 2.3 seconds to go. Midcourt, Linker to throw it in. Linker's got to get rid of it. Lobs it down low for Norris. He turns, he misses, and the shot there by Edson on the putback is no good. That's the end of quarter number 3. Fort Morgan 31, Windsor 25. It's a 1-minute break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Anybody's game here as we head to the fourth. The Mustangs lead the Windsor Wizards by a score of 31-25. In the lane, Scoggin banks, misses, offensive foul. Caden Edson took the contact. Also a turnover, their 10th. And for Scoggin, that's his first personal. It's Linker, Sadinana, Edson, Ortega, and Norris for Fort Morgan. Preston Green, Ben Hageman, along with Mitch Rasmussen, Matt Scoggin. And I thought that was McInnes in there, but nope. Instead, it's Brennan Seabolt. Ortega, right corner for Sadinana, and we got a whistle. That's going to be an offensive foul. That is on Edson. Illegal screen. That'll be his fourth foul. I mean, this is going to be the first of 40 if we even get there. Again, the Mustangs with a 31-25 lead. 7:25 to go in the game. At the top, here's Green against Edson. Outside right to Hageman. Hageman against Linker. Now straight away to Scoggin. Scoggin in the lane, hop step, puts it up off the glass too strong. Nick Norris grabs his sixth rebound for Fort Morgan. Mustangs want to be very careful with this possession. They have not been careful with the basketball in the second half. On the high left, Isaac Linker dribbles to his right. Linker maintains the dribble to his left. He's not going to pick up that dribble till he finds a teammate. And now he picks up the dribble, hands it off to Sadinana. Sadinana right of the lane, right corner, Edson three, and that's off the rim. Rebound, Ortega puts it up, and he misses, and then it's tipped, and the ball is taken away there by Mitch Rasmussen. Mustangs had a big shot there, couldn't make it. Here is Scoggin back out to Hageman. That could have been a three-possession lead for Fort Morgan with 6:35 to go. Seabolt in the lane, right corner for Green, penetrates right baseline. He runs into a Mustang, defensive foul on Ortega, tripped him up. And they're going to say 2 shots. Yep. So to the line is Preston Green to shoot 2. And, yeah, they were clarifying what Ortega's number was. They said 0, but he is a 1. Here comes the free throw. Colorado Plains Medical Center has experienced physicians and a highly trained surgical team trained in the latest surgical procedures. Explore what procedures are possible in your hometown. Colorado Plains Medical Center. First free throw by Green is in. He's got 8. Make it 9 and make it 10. He had 7 at the break. Both free throws are good. 31-27. Full timeout. We'll keep it right here. Fort Morgan girls basketball team fell to Windsor tonight. 66-33. In Windsor, they're 0-4 in league play. 4-8 overall. Mustang boys up by 4 here. Fort Morgan wrestling team did win tonight over Erie. And the brush wrestling team did lose to Ray, ranked number 1 in 2A. 45-25 was that final. And here once again, 31-27 in favor of the Fort Morgan Mustangs, and a very low-scoring game. We haven't seen that throughout the course of the Tri-Valley League season. Fort Morgan's victory over Erie in wrestling tonight, 54-28 in Erie. And when the next rankings come out tomorrow from Tim Yontet on the mat, they should be ranked higher than 10th, which is where they were sitting as of last week in 3A. They were behind Brush, and Fort Morgan defeated Brush in the Battle of Morgan County before the break. Sadinana, Norris, Edson, Ortega, Linker for Fort Morgan. And now Sadinana in the bounce, pass in the backcourt over to Ortega. Ortega across the timeline, 3-on-3, bounce pass to Edson, and Edson has it blocked out of bounds, but he's fouled by Seabolt. Seabolt commits his second. And Caden Edson to the stripe to try to get Fort Morgan back to a 6-point lead. Hageman, Scoggin, Seabolt, Green, and Rasmussen for Windsor. Free throw by Edson. Barely got to the rim. First miss by the Mustangs tonight, but they've only attempted 6 free throws. Edson's second is up, and that one is in. Perfect free throw. Fort Morgan 32, Windsor 27 with 6:22 to go in the game. Boy, they're going to have to feed Nick Norris down low. Remember, he's got 11 points tonight, 11 out of 32. Especially if Windsor scores here. How long can you continue to play this type of defense? Scoggin to Seabolt, straight away 3, and he missed it off to the left. Nick Norris goes high for his 7th rebound. On the outlet to Linker, Mustangs can build a 3-possession lead with under 6 minutes to go in the game. Ortega hands it back off to Linker at the free throw line. Linker picks up the dribble, hands it off to Edson. Edson on the outside right to Sadinana against Hageman. Straight away to Linker. Linker against Hageman to his right. Bodied up by Linker as Hageman feeds it out to Sadinana. Sadinana against Green on the outside right to Edson. Edson penetrates right baseline, puts up a floater, and that's off the back of the rim. And Ben Hageman grabs the rebound for Windsor, his fifth. There's the outlet to Seabold. Left of the lane, jump pass off the hands of Edson, out of bounds, intended for Scoggin. Windsor basketball with 5.5 to go in the game. Windsor trails Fort Morgan 32-27. Seabold with Ortega right on top of him. Seabold bounce pass outside right to McGinnis, looking down low for Scoggin, dribbles into the lane, leans from 10, in and out. Nick Norris with a rebound. There's a lid on that basket. Norris with his 8th rebound, the outlet to Sadinana. Sadinana with 5:15 to go in the game. Fort Morgan 32, Windsor 27. Feeds it right corner to Ortega. Dribbles to his left, gets a pick from Norris. Maintains the dribble. Back out to Norris to his right. Norris holding the ball up high. Left-handed dribble. Feeds it at the top to Linker. Linker against Hageman. Left of the lane. In the lane. Leans. Banks and scores. A little 6-foot runner there for Isaac Linker. A big bucket. The Mustangs up by double digits. It's 34-27. 4:48 to go in the game. Straight away with the basketball is Green on the high left to Scoggin. Dribbles towards the corner. Fakes that shot. Kicks it back out to Seabold. Seabold straight away to McGinnis. McGinnis hands it off to Green. Green against Edson. Back out to Scoggin. Hands it off to the leading scorer, Hageman. Leading scorer this season, that is. Back out to McGinnis. McGinnis in the lane all the way. Banks and misses with a left-handed layup. Tipped up by Hageman. Back out Seabold. The Green three. That's off to the left. And the rebound to Sadinana of Fort Morgan. They cannot buy a bucket. Windsor is stone cold, but there's a steal by Hageman. Hageman all the way. Lays it up and in. I was hoping there was a different result based on the hesitation of my voice, but nonetheless, it's turnover number 21 for Fort Morgan. Mustang lead down to 5. 4 minutes to go. Right corner, Edson. Edson to his left, into the paint, back out to Linker. Linker holds the basketball up high, takes a dribble, picks up the dribble, finds Sadinana. Sadinana to his left. Feeds it to Linker straight away against Ben Hageman. Linker, left to the lane. Back out towards Edson. Penetrates left baseline. Down low for Norris, and it's out of bounds. It's off of Norris. Mustangs commit the turnover. That is number 22. They had 9 in the third quarter, and again, anybody's game here, even though Windsor has been unable to claim the lead. 34-29 Fort Morgan with 3:38 to go in the game. On the outside right, Rasmussen straight away to Scoggin. On the high left to McGinnis. Chest pass straight away. Wide open Green three-pointer around it. No good. I'm telling you, that was spinning inside the rim. And then the outlet pass to Sadinana. And here is Isaac Linker over to Ortega. Bounce pass to Edson. Edson on the high left. Back out towards Linker. Linker was trying to hand it off to Sadinana. Cut off by McGinnis. He steals and scores. McGinnis with a layup. Fort Morgan with another turnover. And they're only up by 3. And then we got a timeout called by Andy Schoen with 3:05 to go. Yeah, you can't continue to get away with these mistakes. Way too many mistakes here. And that was a killer right there because they're only down by 1 possession. 34-31. Fort Morgan has committed 23 turnovers in the game. Windsor with only 9. And despite all these mistakes, Fort Morgan might get away with this and come out with a victory. So we will find out. Because Fort Morgan, in the half, we're talking nearly 13 minutes of basketball, has scored a total of 9 points. But Windsor has only scored 13 points in a half. But they were down by 7 and now trail by 3. Let's see if we have any significant substitutions here by head coach Andy Schoen. Ortega, Cardona, Norris, Sadinana, and Edson. So Linker is out. And Linker just made a huge bucket moments ago. It'll be Fort Morgan basketball. 3/4 court. Cardona into Sadinana. Sadinana against Rasmussen, right of the lane all the way. Jump pass to Norris, but I believe we have an offensive foul. Yep, Norris laid it in, but taking the contact was Hunter Peck. Offensive foul on Sadinana. Sadinana commits his third, and Windsor can tie the game with a 3. With 2:57 to go. Well, they haven't started the clock. They haven't started the clock up there. Nobody started the clock, and McInnes lays it up and in. Boy, a bunch went off without the clock even moving. I had to yell it, and then they finally started it because I'm closest to them. 34-33. Here's Ortega on the outside right. Hands it off to Sadinana. The Mustang lead was 13 at one point. It's down to 1. And then a foul. That'll be the... Nope, we just knocked it out of bounds. No foul, excuse me. Edson to throw it in with 2:38 to go in the game. And Fort Morgan is leading by a single point. Marquez replaces Sadinana. Or no, he's going to be in there for Edson. Sadinana was about to head towards the bench. But it's now Edson. Marquez looking. Still looking. Left corner, Ortega. Ortega to his right. Picks up the dribble. Ortega, he's got to get rid of it. And does to Cardona. Back out straight away to Marquez. 2.5 minutes to go. Fort Morgan doesn't want to take a shot unless it's a great one. Marquez into the lane. Leans, banks, and misses. Too strong. Norris rebound. Banks and misses, but a foul. Nick Norris to the line. That's a big one. Norris now with 9 rebounds on the night. Foul is on Brennan Seabolt. Now they're going to say Hunter Peck. And the free throw is short. Mustangs playing with fire right now. Unable to extend the lead. It's 34-33 with 2:21 to go. Nick Norris with his second free throw. It would still be it would have been a one possession lead either way, and that one is around and good. Fort Morgan 35, Windsor 33. 2:18 to go. Here is Shoemaker, left baseline, spinning. Back out to Seabolt. Seabolt against Marquez, straight away to McInnes. Thought about the three, hands it off to Seabolt instead, and he calls out the play with 2:06 remaining. Seabolt to his right against Marquez. Dribbles right baseline, leans, banks, and scores. And the game is tied on the Brennan Seabolt shot off the glass. 35 apiece with 1:54 to go in the game. Ortega for Fort Morgan. Right at the free throw line. Hands it off to Norris in the corner. Norris has to get rid of it, holding the ball up high. Tries to dribble out of traffic. Feeds it cross court. Marquez has the shot blocked out of bounds by Hageman, attempting that three. That was stuffed right into the Fort Morgan bench. Mustangs retain possession. 1:41 to go in the game. Linker to throw it in for Fort Morgan. He's back in the game. Linker back out to Sadinana. Sadinana against Rasmussen. 1:36 to go. Crossover dribble. Left wing. Linker fakes the three. Now he's going to dribble it back out. Looking down low for Norris. Lobs it back out to Sadinana. 1:27 remaining. Sadinana retreats towards midcourt. David Sadinana, the junior, with a left-handed dribble. Gets a pick from Norris at the top. Feeds it left corner. Here's the Ortega three. No good. It's no good, and it's rebounded there by Rasmussen. And Windsor can take the lead incredibly enough with the basketball is Seabolt. 1:06 to go in the game. Fort Morgan 35, Windsor 35. Seabolt in the lane, leans, down low to Hageman. He puts it up, and it's off the back of the rim, no good. But it's tipped out to Rasmussen. Timeout Windsor with 58.3 seconds remaining. Wow. Well, Fort Morgan has played well enough defensively, and that has not been the case in Tri-Valley play, but offensively they have really been lacking in the second half. 10 points in the entire half. They have just 3 field goals, a three-pointer by Marquez, a three-point play by Norris, and then Linker about a couple of minutes ago banked one in. And Fort Morgan opened up the lead at that point. But Windsor has come back. Let's see if Windsor settles for the final shot of the game, or for the fourth quarter at least. Tied at 35. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins, offering you a variety of banking needs, including agriculture and personal loans. That's High Plains Bank in Wiggins. The teams break their respective huddles. Ben Hageman, Preston Green, Brennan Seabolt, Lance McInnes, and Mitch Rasmussen for Windsor. David Sadinana, Caden Edson, Isaac Linker, Nick Norris, and Jacob Ortega for Fort Morgan. Just beyond midcourt, Hageman to throw it in. Linker will be right on top of him. Look for them to break towards the basket. One did, but the Mustangs right there. Hageman gets it in on the outside right to Rasmussen, and then down low for Linker, and it's intercepted. Or down low, and Linker intercepted it, I should say. Here is Sadinana. Sadinana across the timeline. 43 seconds to go in the game. Sadinana. Timeout Fort Morgan again. Yeah, I'm not sure where that entry pass was going. It looked like it was going to Linker. I mean, he was just waiting for it like he was the intended receiver. Big mistake there by Windsor. That's only their 11th turnover, but it came at a very inopportune time. Andy Schoen talks it over with his team. Will they take the final shot or attempt a shot here with little time remaining in the fourth quarter? Mustangs led 12-4 after 125-18 at the break. Were outscored 7-6 in the third and have been outscored in the fourth by a 10-4 margin. And in terms of double-figure scoring, Preston Green has 10 for Windsor, and Nick Norris has 12 for Fort Morgan. No substitutions made by either side as the Mustangs will take the floor with possession of the basketball, 42.2 seconds remaining, looking for their first Tri-Valley League win of the season. It's been a really rough half for the Mustangs. Not only just the 10 points, but 14 turnovers. That's an atrocious ratio. But that's not going to matter as much if they can pull this off. Caden Edson, just beyond midcourt, will throw it in for the Mustangs. Lance McInnes is essentially shadowing the inbounds passer. So here is Linker. Check that, Edson. Edson to Sadinana. Sadinana dribbles to his right with 37 seconds to go. On the high right, Sadinana will hand it off to Linker. Linker motioning towards Sadinana. Back out to Sadinana, 26 seconds remaining. Sadinana on the high right with a crossover dribble, but he's not looking to drive to the basket now with 19 seconds to go. Guarded closely by Rasmussen. Dribbles past Rasmussen right of the lane with 12 to go. Now he picks up the dribble, got to get rid of it. Does to Linker with 9. Linker hands it off to Sadinana with 4, with 3, straight away Edson, now in the left wing, long 3 is up, and that is well short. Ortega took it, and it hit the bottom of the backboard. Well, that was not good, and we head to overtime. They got off that shot. Let's take a 1-minute break. We go to overtime. Fort Morgan 35, Windsor 35 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs and Windsor Wizards go to overtime, tied at 35. Fort Morgan held the basketball for the final 42 seconds, and that was an awful shot. A three-pointer. Ortega was open, but he missed it by a mile. And Fort Morgan is not a three-point shooting team, and now they got to do something here in overtime. Norris jumping center with McInnes out there with Ortega, Edson, Linker, and Sadinana. Hageman, Seabolt, Rasmussen, and Green, and the tip is controlled by Windsor, and then knocked out of bounds. Ortega knocks it off. Not off of Seabolt, but from his grip out of bounds, and Windsor retains possession. Fort Morgan was outscored in that quarter 10-4. And Seabolt lobs it into Green. Now Seabolt across midcourt with 3:48 to go. These are 4-minute overtimes. Seabolt at the top for Hageman. Hageman dribbles to his left of the lane, then puts up a runner off the glass and in! Oh, Hageman just threw it up there and scores, and Windsor's got the lead. 37-35, 3:35 to go. Here's Edson the other way, misses, and then Norris grabs it and he misses the shot, and it's out of bounds off of Windsor. Norris did grab his 10th rebound as Edson drove to the left of the basket, but it fell short Edson to throw it in. Edson on the outside right to Norris against Hageman, and he knocks it away from Norris. Norris chases it down, though. And then Nick Norris had the ball deflected out of bounds by Hageman, and Fort Morgan has no rhythm here offensively. Linker beyond midcourt. Let's see if they can do something. Just one basket, and they can tie the game. Over to Sadinana. Sadinana dribbles to his right. Now back towards the top. Feeds it out to Linker. Linker against Preston Green. Bounce pass. Over to Nick Norris. High right here. Sadinana against Hageman. Lobs it down low for Norris, and then he's fouled. As he was trying to receive that pass, this will be a 1-and-1 situation. And the foul was committed by Preston Green. That'll be his third. And Nick Norris now to shoot the 1-and-1. He's got 12 points tonight from the line. Norris is 4 out of 5. Free throw is off to the right. No good, and the rebound is controlled by Green. And I don't know if Windsor's going to shoot anytime soon here. They've got a 2-point lead with 3 minutes to go in the game, 37-35. McInnes between his legs. At the top now for Mitch Rasmussen. Now to Hageman. Cross court to Rasmussen. Thinks about the three, doesn't take it. Straight away to McInnes. McInnes against Sadinana. Left corner, here's Rasmussen. Dribbles into the lane. Back out left corner. Three, McInnes is no good. Ball is tipped around, and Nick Norris has the deflection for Fort Morgan. His 11th rebound. Norris hands it off to Ortega. Ortega tries to dribble out of traffic. Gets it to Linker. Baseball pass front court. Chased down by Sadinana. No, he couldn't do it. Out of bounds. The turnover for Fort Morgan is number 25. Windsor basketball with 2:28 to go in the game. And here comes Brennan Seabolt. You just feel helpless here, the Mustangs, because they can't put it in the hole. Seabolt on the outside left, at the top for Green, in the lane. Right corner, here's Shoemaker, hands it off over there to Green on the high left to Seabolt against Ortega, dribbles into the paint. Here's Rasmussen, right wing three, and that's around and no good. Rebound, Hageman, he puts it up, and that's short, and I think Hageman went over the back. Oh, no, they're going to say a foul on Fort Morgan, and that might be Norris. 2 free throws for Hageman. That would be Norris's 4th if it's against him. No, they're going to say Isaac Linker instead. That's his 2nd. Hageman was averaging 14 points a game going into this one, and the free throw is good. And now he can give Windsor a 2-possession lead with 2:01 to go if he makes the 2nd. Windsor 38, Fort Morgan 35. Hageman spins, shoots, and connects. Nothing but string for Ben Hageman, who's got 11 points in the game. Windsor 39, Fort Morgan 35. 1:56 to go. Edson on the right baseline with the basketball. Back out to Sadinana. Sadinana against McInnes. Sadinana with a left-handed dribble. Crosses over at the free throw line all the way. Puts it up, and that is way too strong. And it's tipped into the hands of Green. Windsor's in control of this game right now with the basketball. And 1:39 to go, up by 4. Hageman outside left against Linker. Slams into Linker. Offensive foul. Boy, that was ill-advised by Hageman. That keeps Fort Morgan in the game. Hageman with his 4th. Nice job of Linker cutting off that lane. Shoemaker, Seabolt, and Green is out of the game, along with McInnes, Rasmussen, and Hageman for Windsor. Fort Morgan has not made a substitution since midway through the 4th quarter. Sadinana with the basketball. With 1:23 to go, gets a pick from Norris. Sadinana, jump pass to Norris, and Norris lost the basketball, and it's picked off over there by Seabolt. Fort Morgan with another turnover, and then Windsor with a timeout. 30-second timeout. The Mustangs, 2 turnovers and no points in overtime. Unofficially with 26 turnovers in the game. They once had a 13-point lead, and they are down by 4. This is turned into a nice run here for Windsor. A 31-14 run since Fort Morgan had a 21-8 lead. So the Mustangs are going to have to start fouling. Windsor's committed 19 fouls. Fort Morgan already in the double bonus. They've made 10. And I don't remember the last Mustang bucket. I believe it was Linker, yeah. It was Linker when they scored only 4 points in the quarter. There's the inbounds pass to Seabold. They're going to have to steal or foul here with 1:10 to go, down 39-35. Crossing the timeline is Seabold, back out to McGinnis. Dribbles to his right, in the paint, jump pass to Green. He's going to back it out near midcourt to Rasmussen. Now here's Hageman. They'll just spread it out, and now we have a whistle. That's a Fort Morgan foul. But who's the foul on? I didn't see the official signal. The foul at least towards the scorer's table. And it's not put up yet anyway. Double bonus, free throw, good. By Mitch Rasmussen. It's the fourth on Nick Norris. That's the official word. Unless the Mustangs can hit a three-pointer or two, they're going to lose this game. Second free throw is good. Windsor's outscored Fort Morgan 6-0 in overtime. 55 seconds to go. Edson on the outside right to Ortega. Ortega dribbles to his left. Back out towards Sarinana. Stolen by McGinnis. He lays it up and he's fouled as he misses. McGinnis to the line, and Windsor's going to win this thing. Sarinana commits his fourth. And Fort Morgan with 3 turnovers in overtime. Free throw by Lance McGinnis. He spins, shoots, and connects. 10 points in the game for McGinnis. Second free throw upcoming. That's up, and that's good. 8-point lead in overtime for Windsor, 43-35. Fort Morgan has not scored. There's the lob in the backcourt to Norris. 38 seconds to go, and he crosses midcourt. There's the timeout. But there's not going to be enough time. This would be a miracle at this point. You don't score in the first 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Now you need 8 points in 38 seconds without Windsor scoring just to tie the game. I believe this was like a 34-27 score. If I remember correctly, we'll have to go back through the ledger there. And if that was the case, for 34-28 in that range, and Fort Morgan has been outscored about 15-1 since that point, or 15-0. But definitely 8-0 in overtime. And again, I go back to the last possession. 42 seconds to go. Fort Morgan works the ball around, and they have to settle for a left wing three from Jacob Ortega, who has made 2 in conference play. But he pulled the string and hit the bottom of the backboard. I mean, that's the shot they settled for a team that really is more of an inside team offensively. And it's not like the three-pointer has been falling tonight for either team. Ortega hit a three-pointer in the second quarter. Marquez one in the third quarter. That's what the Mustangs really averaged. 2 3-pointers a game. Edson to throw it in. Lobs it cross court to Ortega. Intercepted. Jeez. Unbelievable. Shoemaker picks it off. Windsor might win this game by double digits. And did they call a timeout? Why? You've got an 8-point lead in possession of the ball with 33.8 seconds to go. But they called a timeout. And now we're finally going to have a substitution. Yeah, Fort Morgan did not make any substitutions there late in the fourth. Or very limited, and certainly not in overtime, but they've been outscored 8-0 with 4 turnovers committed. 28 in the game. Their turnover total is catching up to their point total. And it's 43-35 Windsor. And Fort Morgan, which was just minutes away, seconds away really from their first Tri-Valley League win, is going to fall to 0-4 in league play and 3-8 on the season, going into their Saturday game in Longmont against the Skyline Falcons. That'll be a 7 o'clock start on B106 and B106.com, preceded by the girls' game at 5:30. We'll have a short post game here. Windsor's already on the floor with possession of the basketball, but now Marquez is in. He's a good three-point shooter. Nick Norris out of the game, but I mean, they don't need buckets down low at this point. Siebold to throw it in. Bounce pass over to Green, and Green is fouled by Marquez. That's not going to be even close to any guarantee that he's going to miss a free throw at this point. Free throw is up, and that's good. Green has made his last 4 free throws and is 6 out of 7 in the game, and Windsor leads by 9. 44-35. Second free throw, and it's a 10-point lead in overtime for the Wizards. 45-35. They have turned around a 13-point deficit. Here's the bounce into Marquez. Marquez with 29, back out to Edson. Edson towards the left corner, dribbles left baseline, leans, banks, and he misses. And the ball is loose, picked up by Cardona. He banks and scores, but it's going to be way too late for Fort Morgan, even if they commit a foul, and Siebold is fouled by Edson. 16.2 seconds to go. Yeah, it's an impossibility for the Mustangs to win this game. Well, instead, Linker committed the foul. 2 free throws by Brennan Siebold. And the first is up, and that is in. They've been coming through clutch in the quarter. From the line in the fourth quarter and overtime, Windsor is 11 of 11. Second free throw for Siebold is good. The lead is 10, 47-37. Into Marquez. Marquez nearly stripped, got it back. 9 seconds to go. Over to Linker with 7. Now Edson, desperation 3, banks it in. I wouldn't even foul. Nope, they're not going to inbounds the basketball, and that's it. And the Windsor Wizards have defeated the Fort Morgan Mustangs 47-40 in overtime. Let's take a 2-minute break. We'll wrap it up after this in 2 minutes on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Fort Morgan Mustangs post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. There to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. Fort Morgan led after the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, had the lead throughout the fourth quarter, but lost the game in overtime. 47-40. 12-4 was the lead after 1 for Fort Morgan, 25-18 at the break, 31-25 after 3, but they outscored 10-4 in the fourth and 12-5 in overtime. In fact, they didn't score in overtime until there was under 1 minute remaining, and that was on a putback by Adam Cardona. Then Caden Edson threw in a desperation 3 with 3 seconds to go, but that was it for Fort Morgan. 3 players in double figures for the Wizards tonight. 12 points for Preston Green, 11 by Ben Hageman, and 11 by Lance McGinnis. Next up, Brennan Siebold at 6 points, 3 by Kobe Green, 2 apiece for Mitch Rasmussen and Trent Shoemaker. Mustangs had 12 points from Nick Norris, another double-double from him. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 8 points for Caden Edson. And then you had 4 in the game from Noah Rojo and Isaac Linker. Fernando Marquez, the freshman, at 5, 3 by Jacob Ortega, and then 2 apiece from Simon Graff and Adam Cardona. 33 rebounds for Fort Morgan. They out-rebounded Windsor unofficially 33-22. Ben Hageman had 7 for Windsor, but he gave Windsor the lead in overtime on a shot, and they never looked back after that. Turnovers was a brutal stat in favor of Windsor. 28 turnovers for Fort Morgan and only 12 for Windsor. The Mustangs 7 out of 10 from the free throw line, 70%. And Windsor 21 out of 28 from the line, 75%. Fort Morgan drops to 0-4 and 3-8 on the season. 0-4 in Tri-Valley play, 3-8 overall. Windsor 1-3 in league play. Check that, 2-2 in league play, and 5-6 in the 2018-2019 season. We'll be back at it on Saturday night, 5:30 for the girls' game, 7 o'clock for the boys' game. The Mustangs will take on the Skyline Falcons in Longmont. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Emily Hernandez. I'm John Beltran. The final score once again tonight at Fort Morgan. Windsor wins in overtime over the Fort Morgan Mustang boys, 47-40, right here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. And hold on, let me tell you, before we get to that, player of the game brought to you by Transwest. They believe that customers are number one. Check out their selection online. Stop by one of their dealerships in Fort Morgan or Sterling today. We'll give it to Nick Norris with 12 points and 11 rebounds. Now we tell you once again, John Beltran with you. Final score, Windsor 47, Fort Morgan 40 in overtime. And this has been Mustang Basketball on B106 and B106.com.